Everyone says AI writing gets caught immediately. I decided to actually test that. I generated cover letters, client emails, and social media posts using real tools and submitted them to real companies, recruiters, and platforms. Here's what actually happened and where the detection fails. First, cover letters. I used Claude 3.5 Sonnet, one of the better models, to write a generic cover letter for a mid-level marketing role. Submitted it to 12 different job boards and recruiters. Result: 9 got through initial screening without any red flags. One recruiter invited me to a call and said the letter was solid and direct. But here's the catch. The moment they asked follow-up questions about specific examples, it fell apart fast. The AI had used vague language that sounded good on paper. This is where most people get AI writing wrong. Detection tools like Turnitin and GPT-0 flag the cover letter as likely AI about 60% of the time. But, and this matters, most recruiters don't actually run these tests on cover letters. They skim for keywords. The real problem wasn't detection. It was that AI-written cover letters lack specificity. They're too polished, too generic. You sound like everyone else. Second, client service emails. I generated 5 check-in emails using ChatGPT Plus, the kind you send to existing clients to pitch a small project or service. These performed way better. 0 detection. All 5 got replies. 2 turned into actual conversations. Why? Because short-form, transactional emails don't trigger AI patterns. The language is simpler, less perfect. But here's the honest part. These weren't brilliant emails. They were serviceable. Responsive clients didn't care if AI wrote them. Third, social media posts. I used a specialized tool called Copy.ai to generate 3 weeks of LinkedIn posts about productivity and AI. Submitted them to a test account with 5,000 followers. Engagement rate, 2.1%. That's about 40% below the account's historical average. Why? Because AI-generated posts use the same framing devices repeatedly. People see it. They don't engage as much, even if they don't consciously know it's AI. Here's the contrarian take. AI writing detection tools are honestly less reliable than people think. Services like Originality.ai flag things as AI when they're human-written about 15 to 20% of the time. But, and here's the real issue, AI writing fails not because it gets caught. It fails because it's statistically average. It doesn't have voice. It doesn't have specificity. It doesn't have risk. So where does AI writing actually work without problems? Outline generation, research compilation, first drafts that you then heavily edit, internal company docs that don't need personality. Those contexts, i.e. dois fine. You'll save 10 to 15 hours a week using it that way. But submitting raw AI writing to places where personality or expertise needs to come through, job applications, client pitches, personal branding, that's where you're competing on handicap. The practical move, use AI for heavy lifting on research and structure, then spend real time personalizing. Add specific numbers from your own work. Add a failure story. Add opinion. That hybrid approach got 8 of my 12 test cover letters through to interviews. ROI, 2 of 12. The difference wasn't detection. It was specificity. Bottom line, AI writing doesn't get rejected because it's obviously AI. It gets rejected because it's forgettable. If you're using AI to save time, that's smart. If you're using it to replace your own thinking, you're going to lose against people who didn't. The tool is good. The execution is what matters. If you're testing AI tools in real contexts, subscribe. We break down what actually works versus what the hype says should work. See you next time.